Hi everyone, it's svgcoop.com with another training video for you, and today we are in Adobe Illustrator and we are going to be working on our first Halloween project for the year for 2016, and that is going to be our Frankenstein card. So I have a new project open in Illustrator and I have it set to 12 by 12. I'm going to hit Command apostrophe to get my grid. I just like to have my grid. And this time we need the ruler, so I'm going to hit Command R, Control R on the PC, and you can see now I have a ruler here up top. So first thing is grab your rectangle tool and just click and drag. And I'm going to change the color to a nice Frankenstein green, and I want my stroke to be set to 0. And then I'm going to grab my black arrow tool. I'm going to click on the rectangle and we need to size this. So make sure that your constrain button is unlocked, and we're going to make the width 11 inches and the height is going to be 4 1/4. And that is because, first of all, it's half a sheet of an 8.5 by 11, and if you make cards at all, a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 fits perfectly in a little envelope, so it's nice. This card will be easy to send to somebody you want to scare this Halloween. All right, so we have we have 11 inches by 4 1/4, and then what we need to do, this is going to be our first time using these, we want to use some guides. So the first thing I want to do is make sure, if you go to View, Guides, you want to make sure if you're first going in here, mine says Lock Guides because I released them, and I'm just going to hit Lock Guides for a second. So if I go to View, Guides, yours might say Unlock Guides. So we're going to click on Unlock Guides. And then we're going to hang out here over in the ruler area and just going to click and drag over onto the project. Okay? And we want to set the first guide up here on the top. We want to set the first guide to 5.5 inches. Then we're going to do it again. We're going to click from in the ruler, drag out, and you'll see I have these lines here, and we want the second line, the x-axis, to be set at 2 3/4, so 2.75 inches. And then we want to move our rectangle here. We want to align it to the side of the edge. So up here on the top, see this little button here? This is your line button, and you can see you have Align to Selection, Align to Artboard, Align to Key Object. We want yours to be set at Align to Artboard, okay? And then we're going to, with this rectangle selected, we want to align it to the left. All right? Oops, let me just move that down. Make sure we have it aligned to the left. Okay, so now you can see what we're going to do is we're going to build a fold here, a fold here. We're going to cut out half of the eye right here. And then when you fold this over, this is going to be the perfect size for a card. All right, so I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better what we're doing. And move over a little bit. Okay, so what we want to do is I like to create fold lines here that are actually cut out so everything folds nicely. So we're going to grab our line segment tool, and the first line we're going to do is we're going to click on where it says intersect. If yours isn't doing that, if you're not seeing that, you can go to View, Smart Guides, and make sure that it's clicked, and then you'll see that, okay? All right, so I'm going to start at the intersect. I'm going to start dragging down, and I'm going to hold the Shift key to make sure that my line stays perfectly straight. And I'm going to go until it says intersect again. And I want my stroke to be set at 0.5. And you can see now we can see the line. And you can see also here it is lined up with our guide because the x-axis is at 5.5. And then we're going to click on stroke. And we want it to be a dashed line, so you want your dash to be 5 points and your gap to be 20. We don't want the lines to be too close or it will rip, so we don't want that. And make sure that you have it set here so that the dashed lines will line up with the edges of the paper, okay? And I'm going to click off of that, and we're going to do it again over here at our other line. So where it says intersect, you're going to click, start to drag. See how I can go anywhere? If you hold the Shift key, watch, it's going to snap. So I'm just going to snap it down until we have intersect again. And it saved my settings for the line. Okay, and you can see up here again, it's set at 2.75. All right, grab your black arrow tool, click on the first line we made, And then we're going to do Object, Path, Outline, Stroke. Okay? And then I'm going to hit Command 8. And then I'm going to Shift select the rectangle. So we have the rectangle selected and this line. We're going to go to our Pathfinder. If you don't see it over here on the right, you can go to Object, Path, let's see, will it show you here? Oh no, I'm sorry, Windows, Pathfinder, okay? And we want to hit minus front. And I'm going to click off of there, and you can see, I don't know if you can really see, if I move the guide away, you can see we have, it's white now instead of black. I'm just going to click on the guide and put it back at 5.5. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the other line. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to Object, Path, Outline, Stroke, Command 8, Shift select the rectangle with that path still selected and hit minus front. Okay? Alright, so now we have the two folds in our card. Now what we want to do is we need to make the first big eyeball. So I'm going to grab my ellipse tool. I'm just going to click and drag. And if I hold the shift key, it will keep it perfectly round. And what I want to do is I actually want my circle to be, we're going to go with a 1.5 inch circle here. So I'm going to change the size up here on the top to 1.5. But see how I don't have my constraint locked? If I lock that and I change this to 1.5, the other measurement here will stay at 1.5. So now my circle is nice and round. And I want my stroke again to be a 0.5. And I don't want to fill, so I'm just going to make no fill. And with my black arrow tool, I'm just going to come and align this. I want the center of the circle, see how it says intersect? I want the center to intersect with my fold that's on the left, okay? And you want to make sure you put it to whatever height you want his eye to be. So, because we're going to put some hair, so maybe about there, okay? And I'm going to zoom in for this part. So now that we have this circle for the eye, we don't actually want to cut out the whole circle. We only want to cut out the left side of the circle. So you need to grab your white arrow tool, click off of the image for a second, and then just click on this quarter panel of the circle. All right, and then hit delete. And you can see it got rid of just that part. I'm going to click off again up on the top here, and then I'm going to click another quarter panel right here and hit delete. And you can see you get this right here, and that means that the anchor point is still here. So I'm going to click on the anchor point only and hit delete. So now we just have our half a circle. So with the black arrow tool, I'm going to click my half circle, and we're going to do what we did with the dashed line. So we're going to do Object, Path, Outline, Stroke. Then we're going to hit Command or Control 8. Then we're going to Shift select the rectangle again in the green area and go to our path and hit minus front. If you click off the top, you can see now it looks like a white semicircle there, and we have the dashed line. So that's it as far as our base of our card goes. So I'm going to zoom out just a smudge. And now what we want to do is we need to start making the eyes and the nose and then the hair. So we cut this circle at 1.5. So now I'm going to grab my ellipse tool, and I want to make a circle that is, I'm going to hold my shift key, I'm just going to draw it on here. I'm going to do the fill as white, no stroke. And I want the size of my circle to be 1.5, let's go with 1.4. Oh, grab your black arrow tool, click on the white circle. Let's make it 1.4. And what that's going to do, I'm going to zoom back in here. What that's going to do is it's going to make it so the circle will sit nicely when we glue it down. It will sit nicely inside, and you get just a small little green border around the eye. So that's going to actually work out nice. And then we need a second eye. So I'm going to hold my Alt key down, and you can see I get the two arrows. I'm just going to click and drag. But we don't want the second eye to be as big, so I'm going to make that one a 1.2. So it's just a little bit smaller. Actually, let's go with the 1.1. Okay, so we have the two whites, but we need the blacks of the eye. So I'm just going to hold again my Alt key, click and drag, and I want my fill to be black on this one. And I'm going to just put it over the big one here. And let's try making this, let's go with a 0.5. Okay? And again, you can make these any size you want. If you don't want it to be perfectly round, you have that option. And then I'm going to, again, hold the Alt key, click and drag. And I don't want the black to be as large on this one, so I'm going to go with a 0.3. Okay. And now we need a circle for the nose. So I'm going to hold the Alt key again, click and drag. This time I want my nose to be a darker green. And I'm going to make the size, I think, a 0.4. Okay, so it's it's somewhere in between the two black, and it's not like huge. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom out just a little, and the next thing we need to make is his hair. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, I'm just going to click and drag, and I want the rectangle, I'm going to do a fill with black. I want the rectangle to be, we need to have this sized right, I want it to be, grab your black arrow tool, I want it to be 5.5 inches wide, and I want it to be, let's see, we put the hair here, for example. I don't want it to cover too much of his eyes, but that looks kind of good. Alright, so I have mine, looks like it's set at 1.06, and just because I like things to be perfect, I'm going to go with a 1.1. Alright, so, oops, and see I had this locked, so it changed my width, so I'm going to unlock that and change the width back to 5.5 inches. That's really important because otherwise it won't fit perfectly on your card. Alright, so now what we need to do is we're going to go to Object, Path, Add Anchor Points, and I'm just going to do this, let's say, 3 times. Add Anchor Points, Object, Path, Add Anchor Points. Okay, now if I grab my white arrow tool, you can see we have these anchor points along the bottom. If you would like to have more, when you see what we're going to do with it, you can just add more anchor points. And maybe I will do that. Object, Path, Add Anchor Points. Okay, so what's going to happen is these anchor points are going to be where we make the jagged part of the hair. So what you want to do is, for the second one over, with your white arrow tool, I'm just going to grab that anchor point. Oh, got to click off of it first. Click back in, and I'm just going to, oh, okay, if you click on the actual path, it'll do this. Alright, so I'm just going to click and start dragging every other anchor point up, and just starting to make him have some, crazy hair. And you can be creative with this, however you want the hair to be. And like I said, if you add more anchor points, you can have more jagged hair. Totally up to you. Alright, so that's going to be my hair for this guy. And let's see, I'm going to zoom back out. Now what we need to do is we want to make sure everything is set as a compound path so that it will cut nicely. So with your black arrow tool, select the hair, hit Command or Control 8. Little black parts of the eye, Command 8 or Control 8 on the PC, the whites, and the rectangle again. And now we're ready to go. So I'm going to do File, Save. And I had already saved this as Frank RM because I made another one and I had to redo the video. Okay, so then we're going to do, I'm just going to do File, Save As, and you want to make sure that you have it set as an SVG. Okay, I'm going to hit Save. Okay, and then I'm going to jump over to my Cricut Design space. I just want to show you how this looks now because your card is ready to go. And I'm going to hit Create New Project, Upload, Upload Image, Browse, do Frank RM, hit Open, Save, and I'm going to insert the image. And it's perfectly sized. You don't have to change any of the sizing or anything like that. And you can see in the layers palette we have the black hair, nose, the 2 eyes. And so it's not a lot of pieces to make this really adorable card. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to switch off and show you how to put the card together using my another video option. So we will be back. Thanks for watching. Back, I have my card pieces cut. You see we have the two circles, the nose, the inner eyes, and the hair. And this one actually that I cut before the video, so my hair is a little less exciting than what I did in the video. Anyway, okay, so I have these pieces, and I thought what I would do is I'm going to grab a little bit of distressing. This is the Tim Holtz distressing, and I have my little finger dauber. So I'm just going to kind of just ink along the sides of the card here, just so he looks like, you know, maybe he's had a little bit of a rough day. And I'm just kind of starting out on the edges and working my way in. I'm going to grab that inside a little bit. And when you have your card, remember the lines that we made for the folds. So the first fold, you want to just fold your card in half. And while I have it folded, I'm just going to ink a little around here too. And again, this is, you know, if you want to, you don't have to. I just thought I would make him a little bit, I want him to just be a little dirty. Okay. And then you're going to, with our second fold, you're just going to fold it over again, leaving the circle cut flat like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna dirty up this piece. Okay, now, so when you have your card folded like this, what we want to do is you're just going to glue the big circle right into where that circle cutout is. So I'm just going to put some glue on there, and just going to get that eye right there. And then I'm going to take the second white piece for the eye, there's some glue. And I want it to be a little bit underneath the other circle. So right about there looks good. And then we have our black inner pieces to the eye. A little glue. And you can be kind of creative with this, however you want to put it. I'm just going to put that right about there. And his other inner piece. And I'm just going to put a little ink on the nose here, just to make it a little darker. Okay. And put a little glue. And of course, these options are totally up to you what you want to do. I'm just going to put that nose, so you just want to kind of have it right about there. All right, now for the hair. The part we just want to glue the hair to this piece. So this piece that's up like this, so that when you open the card, the hair is going to move. So I'm going to just put some glue along the top here, right there. I'm just going to grab his hair. And you can see it lines up perfectly with our card. Just give that a good little rub there. Okay. And then of course he needs a mouth, so I'm using a Sharpie. And again, you can just kind of draw it any way you want to. I'm just going to draw a little line here like this and just give him a little wave. And draw some cute little lines. And I'm just going to have him have a cut and scar coming out of the top of his face. And that's it. It's such a simple, cute little adorable card. And there you go. And you could put, you know, if you wanted to, you could cut a piece of white paper in here to put a sentiment if you wanted. But that's it. So my kids are going to be getting some cute Halloween cards in the mail with some candy. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with more videos.